Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to back to Horrorfest. Now we're talking about a 2014 a horror kind of like action drama called Dracula Untold. This is a film that came out. It was supposed to start the Dark Universe for Universal or what have you, and basically it kind of failed. It didn't fail financially because worldwide the movie made it was like over $200 million on a budget of like 80, so it didn't do that horribly. Not like The Mummy this year. And I could say this right now, this movie is way better than The Mummy because unlike The Mummy, this movie is shorter, it has atmosphere, and it has a much better, lead and better cast, and also, it's just a better overall experience. I saw this movie a couple months ago. I saw it in the library in my neighborhood, and I watched it on my DVD player, and I'm like, I liked it. I didn't love it. I don't think it's a game changer. I don't think it tops the original 1930s Dracula or the Bram Stoker's version or even Dracula 2000, but it's way better than the 2017 Mummy. I can easily say that without any question. Now, the things I liked Luke Evans as Dracula, Vlad, as they call him. I like that the story is much better, is different. It's not a carbon copy of the, you know, I am Dracula. No, he doesn't have that accent in this movie. They all sound British, of course. Because if you're gonna do a fantasy horror or like thing, they usually want to have like British actors or Welsh actors do that accent because they think it's sophisticated. But with Luke Evans, it worked. I liked him here a lot more than in Beauty and the Beast because in Beauty and the Beast, I did not buy him as Gaston. I thought he was just a little bit too hammy. He's a good singer, but I just didn't. He did not top the guy from the original '90s version. But anyway, as a lead here, he worked. He's a lot better than Cruz phoning it in and trying to be jokey, and his character was all over the place in the Mummy. But also, Dominic Cooper is the villain. He's okay. You have Charles Dance in the movie, and this other girl, this Canadian actress that plays Vlad's wife, who's beautiful, by the way. She also has an accent, but in real life she doesn't, because Canadians don't have a British accent for the most part. The son is cute. The little boy that Vlad breeds. The film looks great. I think it's got a really good looking like the scenery and the freaking costumes and the special effects are mostly pretty decent. When he turns into a bat, it's like a bunch of bats flying, and it pretty looks pretty cool. And this isn't as painful as I Frankenstein. I hate that freaking movie so much because it looked horrible. The performances sucked, and it was lifeless and boring. This at least had some atmosphere. I got sucked into the story. I liked some of the cast. The battle scenes were pretty good. There's some gore in the movie when there's a scene where Vlad is like falling off, and then he like has to bite, I think, his wife's neck or whatever to save her. And the gore is pretty good. And there's scenes. There's some biting scenes because it's a vampire movie. And the acting is not too melodramatic. It's got its moments of humor. It has some really good cinematography, and while it's no masterpiece, it's fun to watch. It was only like 90 something minutes long. It went at a fast pace. It's about basically Vlad is in a war against these people during the Ottoman Empire, and he has to take them down. And it's a basic story. It's not anything too complicated. It doesn't do like King Arthur where he's like doing superpower moves or whatever. No, it's very basic and normal because the director that actually knows how to shoot a freaking movie, and it's well paced. It didn't feel like it took forever. They show Vlad as a kid, and then he grows up to become Luke Evans, and yeah, it's got a lot of good quirks to it. Now problems, like I said, I think some of the things at the end are kind of rushed, like some of the story arcs, like at the end where he's in modern time, and I think that's kind of rushed, to set up a sequel that didn't happen. Also, like I said, Dominic Cooper, I don't remember him as the villain. I just thought he was kind of forgettable. Yes, I know he was in Captain America: The First Avenger. You don't have to tell me that in the comments as young Howard Stark. I got it, but here like Also, there was like some side characters I didn't care for. Um, but the film is decent. I don't think the film is amazing, but it's a lot better than The Mummy. It was faster paced. It was shorter. You didn't have an annoying British chick, screaming in my ear like Keira Knightley in the Pirates films, or Annabelle Wallis in the Mummy, or King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword. Yeah, it's not that. This at least is watchable, and for Halloween, it's a fun time. Like if you get a bunch of friends and have some snacks and some light drinks and you want to watch a vampire movie that's not some sparkling bullshit movie with freaking glowing emo vampires like Twilight or like Vampire Diaries or any of that, watch this movie. At least it's something. It's a period piece, but it doesn't. It's not 2.5 hours. Thankfully, I'm grateful this movie was not 2.5 hours. It didn't need it, and the pace, it goes by quick, and it has action sequences that are well shot, good special effects when it has to be, gore effects, and the when he turns into a bat. So I'm glad I got to see that again because we haven't seen that in a while. And there's some humorous moments that made me laugh here and there. I don't remember it too much, but would I get this on DVD? Yes, because it's a decent movie. That's all I can say. It's not like, oh my god, I need to buy this on Blu-ray like tomorrow, but it's still a movie that I didn't hate. My friend recommended it. I liked the film. It shouldn't have done. It shouldn't have got trashed by critics. I don't know. What were they looking for? You're not going to get The Shining or It with this. This is just it's PG-13, so they can do as much as they can with a PG-13. They can't show Dracula taking a sword and cutting a guy's head off and drinking his blood from his neck. No, you're not going to see that here. This is PG-13, but it's not that pussified actually, because Twilight, it goes on for 2 hours, nothing happens until the end, and it's got the worst lead in film history, female lead. Yeah, I hate the hobo, but Kristen Stewart is way worse because she's lifeless and her face, she looks like she wants to cry, and she came out as a lesbian. Yay! That's what I want to. That's what I want to freaking look at on my Google search. Fuck you, Kristen Stewart. Anyway, at least the girl here that plays Vlad's wife is gorgeous, and she's young and she's Canadian, so I have my good graces with women from Canada because oot in a boot doesn't bother me. It's a turn on. I have my taste, sue me. But anyway, Dracula Untold, I would recommend it. Even if you just watch it once, it's worth a watch. Unlike Constantine, I wasn't bored out of my mind and with some of the scenes that gone on way too long. It's pretentious at times, beating me over the head with religious references. I know that's in the comics. You don't have to tell me. And I hated Rachel Weisz. Here, at least I like the girl that played her. I was thinking is something Gadon or Gadon. Yeah, she's decent in the movie, and she serves a purpose. And I think Luke Evans brings some emotion to Dracula, so he's not just doing this and talking with an accent like this. No, he does a good job. Like I give him credit for this movie. Beauty and the Beast he was just trying to recreate something that was done already. Here, he did his own take on Dracula, and it worked. It wasn't a copy. And Dracula can be dark because he's a dark character. So, because he's more of an anti-hero than a villain, because it's his story. So, and it's a story that was different. So, I like that. Don't give me the same thing. Like if he was doing the "I want to suck your blood," it would just be the 1930 version with Bela Lugosi, and that's not what I wanted. And that movie can't be touched because that is the definitive Dracula movie. It's got the score and everything. Even the score here is pretty decent. And there were scenes that reminded me of Lord of the Rings, they're in the battle scenes, but it doesn't go on for 3 hours. And I'm glad because a movie doesn't need to get to the point. Give me your story, give me your characters, and if I have like something about it, I'll give it the pass. If I'm bored out of my mind, like I was with King Arthur or The Mummy, you fail, and you don't go into my collection of films and TV shows. But anyway, thanks for watching Dracula Untold. Decent film, didn't hate it, so at least it's better than a lot of summer movies this year and a lot of horror films that came out this year, recently especially. And I would have preferred this summer over The Mummy because that was just it didn't know what it wanted to be. At least this movie knew what it wanted to be and it went for it and it did something different. So I commend it for that. So it's decent and I would get it on DVD. So talk to you guys in the next video. Later.